Hello everyone, welcome to IAS with Arihant. And student, as you know, every day we are discussing about the polity questions at the same time 9 p.m. And student, this is basically the series is called as Prelims Possible, and it's totally based on a book that is basically published by Arihant. And this book is basically known as Prelims Possible. Students, it contain approximately 3500 plus MCQs. And this book is going to be beneficial for your each state PSC examination as well as for the UPSC examination. So I recommend you one thing, just go with the book along with the classes for your better score as well as to fulfill your dreams. Okay, because time is running very fast. Okay, and you have to do what you desired for. Okay, let's suppose you want to be an IAS officer, you want to be an IPS officer. For that purpose, you need to go in a very systematic format as well as with a good approach. Okay, so for that purpose, students, this book is going to be very beneficial. Okay, and we are doing the MCQ based on this book. So let's begin the session without wasting time. Those who are very new to this channel, please subscribe the channel, as well as you guys can press the bell icon for your regular update, students. Okay, so see, as I told you, this book is going to be very important. So many of you may want to know, sir, what are the features of this book? Okay, Avinash, we will do it from the tomorrow only. Okay, tomorrow morning 6 a.m. Okay, so what you find, students, here, basically this Prelims Possible book contain lots of feature, and it is specially designed to create your path easy for your examination as well as for your successful life. Okay, what this book contain, if you see, there is a very important thing, that is there is a chapter wise as well as topic wise division. Okay, and that contain a very beautiful explanation for each and every question. There is a topical mind map that is connected with each and every topic, and there is a 100% error free explanation for each and every question. Okay, that is going to boost your information, that is going to boost your knowledge. Along with that, that will give you the analytical approach as well as basically this conclusive approach in your examination, means what will be your right answer. Okay, along with that, students, this book contain approximately 3500 plus previous year question bullet, students. So this is totally based on your previous year question paper. So see, as I told you already, yes, Avinash will do from tomorrow only. So as I told you already, this book is going to be a panacea for each and every state PSC examination as well as for the UPSC examination, students. Okay, so you not need to worry for anything. Let's begin the session with the first question. But yesterday we completed till the 15th question. So chapter 2, 15 question we already completed, and we start from the same point. And concept we already discussed, the process of making of Indian Constitution. But if you want, I can give you a quick outline. Student, I told you there was a mission that was called as Cabinet Mission, came to India with a 3-member, and they basically created the Constituent Assembly as well as they provided how the Constituent Assembly member is going to be the part of this assembly. Okay, so the number of Constituent Assembly member was 389 initially, basically 292 from the provinces, 93 from the princely state, as well as 4 from the high commissionaries. That was the part of British India, students. After that, student, if you see, the first meeting was conducted on 9th of December, and at the same day the temporary president was elected, Dr. Sachidanand Sinha, and students, he was the oldest person of the Constituent Assembly, so he was chosen, or you can say elected as the president of the Constituent Assembly. And the permanent president was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. He was elected on in the second meeting that was held on 11th of December 1946. If you see, students, there was a very important outline that was called as objective resolution. It was presented by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji on 13th of December 1946, students. And see, as he presented a objective resolution, this was passed by Constituent Assembly, and basically this was considered as a motion. Okay, so it was passed on 22nd of January 1947, and after that working of Indian Constitution was started. First draft was created in October, and it was presented by Sir B.N. Rao. He was the basically advisor of Constituent Assembly. Another important thing is, students, basically B.N. Rao, he was the first Indian who became the part of the International Court of Justice. Okay, so this is very important. He was the judge of International Court. Then, students, the formation of drafting committee was created after the division of British province, or you can say British India, and there's a two domain, one is India, another is Pakistan. So after the partition, we started celebrating Independence Day on 15th of August, and just after 14 days, students, you'll see on 29th of August 1947, once again this Constitution Assembly is going to be reorganized, and there was a committee was created, that was drafting committee, and there was 7 members, and it was headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar sir. If you see, students, the first reading of Constituent Assembly, or basically this constitution, what the draft was created, it was started on 4th November and it was concluded on 9th of November, students, 1948. See, in some examination this is going to be very, very important. That's why I'm telling you, just try to take the facts for your better understanding. And this is the beauty of this book, students. This book contains lots of information in a very systematic approach, as well as it is totally exam oriented. It is also very important what you are studying, that is exam oriented or not. So this book is totally exam oriented. Second reading of the Constitution was held from 15th of November 1948 to 17th October 1949. The third reading of the Constitution was started on 14th of November to 26th November, and then Constitution was adopted on 26th November 1949. Okay, it was adopted as well as it was enacted, but not fully. It was partially enacted with only 15 articles. Then, students, I told you the making of Constitution, there was a time period, and it took approximately 2 years, 11 months and 18 days in the making of Indian Constitution. The Constitution Assembly, basically the Constitution was passed as well as adopted by this assembly on 26th of November 1949. We discussed these things already, as well as the signature for the draft of Indian Constitution. It was done on 24th of January 1950, students, and we are getting the 284 signature over the draft of Indian Constitution. I hope you all able to connect it. Okay. No, Shubham, it is an organization. I hope you all aware with the same. That is Arihant. Okay, so I am just working for the prelims possible here, and I will give this book information as well as the data that is connected with the UPSC, IAS as well as State PSC. Okay, so this book is going to be important. Okay, I hope it, students. So this is one thing. So Constitution was signed. Constitution basically came into force, means the complete Constitution was implemented on 26th of January 1950. So these are the important key points that you need to remember for the examination, students. I hope you all able to connect it. If you feel doubt, you guys can discuss with me. If you have any problem, then you guys can share with me. Otherwise, we are going to start with the MCQs. We already completed 15 MCQs, so we'll start with the 16th MCQs, students. I hope you all connected. Okay, great everyone. So now the question of the day for the today is going to be start from the today only, and this is a chapter 2 in the same book. So the question is here: which of the following statements regarding the Constituent Assembly of India is or correct? Means you have to choose the right statement according to the option. Okay, so first statement is here: the assembly was elected indirectly by the member of Provincial Legislative Assembly. So the assembly was elected indirectly by the member of Provincial Legislative Assembly. One thing. Another statement says that the election were held on the basis of universal adult franchising. What is universal adult franchising, students? Means there was a criteria that will be a age criteria. Means today we are following the age criteria. It is 18 year. Okay, the person who is 18 year plus, he or she is eligible to vote. Okay, means eligible to participate in election as a voter. So means by this statement they are trying to ask ki what, when this Constituent Assembly was created, is election was held on the basis of universal adult franchising. The third statement says that the scheme of election was laid down by the cabinet delegation, basically cabinet delegation, because as you know there were 3 members, so they are mentioning that there was 3 members, they created this point. And after that, students, if you see the fourth statement, the distribution of seat was done on the basis of Mountbatten plan. So students, Mountbatten plan was basically for the partition of India. It was for the partition of India, and as you know students, Mountbatten was the Viceroy of India, okay, as well as he is the last Viceroy of India, and you'll find the students, he was the first Governor General of India for independent nation. Okay, so you'll see when India got independence in 1947, he was the Viceroy, and once we got independence, the rule of Britishers was ended, so this Viceroy post was dissolved, and this post came to known as Governor General of India, and he was the first person who was the first Governor General of India for independent India. But if you see the first Indian, he was C. Rajgopalachari sir. So C. Rajgopalachari sir was the basically he was the Governor General of India for the India, and he was the Indian. So this is also a question that was asked by examination many times. Now, so this Mountbatten plan was connected with what? It was connected with the partition of India and creation of 2 dominion, India and Pakistan. So where you will get option 4 is going to be incorrect. Okay, now you have choice to get the right answer. Another you have to see, student, the scheme of election was laid down by the cabinet delegation. It means that they by this statement they are trying to present basically the cabinet mission. Okay, the cabinet mission. There was a 3 member, as you already know. They created a plan ki how this membership is going to be done, means who can be the member of Constituent Assembly. So yes, we are getting this answer is going to be correct. Yes or no? Now if you see the second option or second statement, election were held on the basis of universal adult franchising. No, there was a very limitation. Only few people means they are allowed to vote. Okay, and this assembly was elected, means there was an indirect election. Okay, the assembly was elected indirectly by the member of Provincial Legislative Council. So if you see Legislative Assembly, so if you see statement 1 and statement 3 is correct, statement 2 and statement 4 is incorrect. So by this option, by this statement, you can choose a very simple right answer, students. So you'll see ki option 1 and 3 is mentioned under the option D. So automatically which answer is going to be correct? Basically this option D is going to be correct. I hope you all able to connect it. If you feel doubt, just discuss with me, students. I hope you all able to get the right answer. But students, this is not enough. We are going to give you a very proper explanation for the same. I just added means this as I already told you, this book contains a very beautiful explanation for each and every question. Okay, so I'm just presenting the explanation that is mentioned under the book, and it contains lots of information, and that will give you the quick revision multiple times. So if you see, statement 1 and 3 are correct as regarding the Constituent Assembly of India. Constituent Assembly member were elected indirectly by the member of newly elected Provincial Assembly. So there was a provincial election. Okay, so provincial election was done in 1946, and there was assembly, and they chosen basically the Constituent Assembly member, students. So the scheme of election or membership was planned according to the suggestion of cabinet mission plan, students. So now as you see, we already discussed the option 1 and 3 is correct. Why it is correct, explanation is also there. If you see students, there is one more thing why option statement 2 and 4 is not correct. So because election of the Constituent Assembly was based on 6th schedule of the Government of India Act 1935 that allowed for restricted franchises based on tax, property as well as educational qualification. Means, as I told you, only few person who are paying high taxes, they have lots of property, as well as they have some education, they are only allowed to give the vote. Students, as well as students, the distribution of seat was done on the basis of cabinet mission plan, not on the basis of Mountbatten plan. We already discussed for the same. Mountbatten plan is basically connected it is connected with the partition of British India into two dominion. One was Pakistan and another was India. Students, I hope you all getting it. Great, everyone. Now we are moving towards the another question, and this question, if you see, it's this question was asked in MPPSC, UPSC IAS pre, as well as 2017 and 13 paper. Students, so see, which of the following is not correct respect to the Constituent Assembly? Which of the following is not correct? You have to see it very carefully in your examination. Sometime once we read, at that time there was some anxiety also, as well as sometime there was excitement also. Okay, once you see this question, okay, it is very easy. There is a very basically very high chances to choose the incorrect answer at that time when we are getting some question easy. Okay, so it is not. So whenever you read a question, try to find what examiner exactly want from you. Okay, so if you see, which of the following is not correct with respect to the Constituent Assembly? So there is options. Each province and princely state were to be allotted seats in proportion to their respective population. Okay, the statement 2, or the second option, seat allotted to the British provinces were to be elected by member of Provincial Assembly. The member of Provincial Assembly were elected on limited franchise, and D says that the representative of princely state were to be indirectly elected. Now we are going to read each statement in a very easy format, and you will find, students, the things is going to be easy. How? Each provinces and princely state were to be allotted seat in proportion to their respective population. This is also a question. There was one member in the Constituent Assembly over 10 lakh of population. Okay, this was the ratio. Student, I told you initially there was 389 member can be in the Constituent Assembly. 296 will come from the British India, and basically 93 will come from the princely state. From the British India, there is a two type of membership. There was a British provinces, from where 292 member is going to be directly elected by basically they will elected by the Provincial Legislative Assembly member. Okay, and 4 is going to be nominated by High Commissioners. So it was also British High Commissionery. So statement 1 is correct. Why? Princely state as well as provinces got their members on the basis of their population. So it was exactly divided on the basis of population. If you see, student, statement B, seats allotted to the British provinces were to be elected by member of Provincial Assembly. So we already discussed that there was Provincial Assembly, and these Provincial Assembly member is going to be elect the Constituent Assembly member from their respective provinces according to their seats. Okay, so if you see, option B is also be correct. Option C says that the member of Provincial Assembly were elected on limited franchise. Yes, there was a limited franchise, everyone is not allowed. So it was, there was a taxpayers, those who has high property, as well as see, education. These are the criteria for the voters. Okay, so this is also correct. But once we see option D, the representative of princely state, means it was, this state was headed by king, were indirectly elected. So there will be no election. This territory was monarch. So basically king is going to be, means king is going to nominate these members, or king, he is going to participate himself in the Constituent Assembly. So there was nomination, no election. So option D is going to be incorrect. Okay, I hope you all getting it. Great everyone. Now we are going to see explanation. Statement D is not correct with respect to Constituent Assembly. Why? We added here, the representative of princely state were to be directly elected according to the scheme recommended by cabinet mission. The province, basically the provision of the mission were that 292 members were elected through the provincial legislative assembly. 93 members represent the Indian princely state. So a king, he or himself can participate, as well as otherwise he is not going to participate, so he will send a representative. And 4 members represented the chief commissioner province. 1 seat allotted to every million population in both princely as well as the provincial state students. 1 million means 10 lakh. Okay, so very easy. One person will represent in the will be the part of the assembly. I hope you all getting it. Easy everyone, simple. So you need to connect. Okay, now we are moving further. What you find, students, we have 18th question. Who proposed the preamble before the drafting committee of the constitution, students? It is in the UKPSC mains 2006, and this is also a question. So it is Jawaharlal Nehru sir, B.R. Ambedkar sir, B.N. Rao, and basically this Mahatma Gandhi ji. So always remember, Mahatma Gandhi sir was not part of Constituent Assembly. He was not member. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru sir, as you know, he was the first Prime Minister of India, as well as he was the head of the committee, Union Power Committee, as well as Union Constitutional Committee. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar sir was the head of, I'm just writing here, head for the drafting committee, means DC. And students, Benigal Narayan Rao sir, B.N. Rao, is basically you will see he was a constitutional advisor. Okay, so just try to connect in the same format. As you know, students, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru sir, on 13th of December 1946, he presented a objective resolution, and this objective resolution got assent from the assembly on 22nd of January 1947. Okay, so it is passed by the Constituent Assembly. And students, this objective resolution, after the making of Indian Constitution, it came to known as preamble. In simple language, we are just suggesting in the same format. So it was presented by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru sir. So see, explanation are also needed. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister of India, proposed the preamble before drafting committee of the Constitution. He presented the draft of the preamble during the Constituent Assembly debate. Nehru vision and articulation of the preamble reflected the idea and aspiration of newly independent India, students. Okay, it highlighted the core principle. What type of core principle are here? Basically justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. Even today we are demanding for the same. And you see, students, this was presented approximately 80 years ago. So we are discussing these points from the 80 years ago, after the implementation of Constitution also, as well as this was not provided by the Britishers. Okay, so that's why when we made our Constitution, we added these things very beautifully in our Constitution, and that's why our Constitution is great. Okay, so which continued to be the guiding principle of Indian Constitution, while Dr. B.R. Ambedkar chaired the drafting committee and played a pivotal role in the shaping of the Constitution. It was Nehru who introduced the preamble as a foundational statement of constitutional values, students. So see, I hope you all able to connect it. Great everyone. Now we are moving towards another question. When did the, see, as we already discussed in the basically this bullet points, or you can say short notes of each and every chapter. So we discussed the same ki, when how much reading was there and when this reading was conducted. So if you see in this book, it means in this book it is mentioned very clearly ki when the first meeting was, first reading of Indian Constitution was held, second reading and third reading. So sometime this is very important to get a right and authentic data. You'll not get these type of information in your books. But Arihant, thanks to Arihant, they are including the same data in this prelims possible series to make your path easy and success. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so when the third reading of the Indian Constitution begin in the Constituent Assembly, students, so it will begin as well as it is going to be closed also. So means closed means the formation of Constitution is going to be done by the third reading. So just tell me when it was started. When it was started, students. So it is 14th of November 1949, 14th of November 1948, 25th November 1948, 25th November 1949. So students, as you know, ki this was the last meeting, last reading of the Constitution. So see, 25th November and 14th November, there's a two thing that was mentioning year 1949. So you'll see, students, it was started on 14th of November 1949 and it was concluded on 26th November 1949. And here, students, what you find, Indian Constitution was adopted as well as enacted. Getting it? So option 1 is going to be correct. See, the third reading of Constitution in Constituent Assembly was started on 14th of November and this reading was lasted till 26th November 1949, and the Constitution of India was adopted by Constituent Assembly on 26th of November 1949, students. So first reading of Constitution in Constituent Assembly, reading was started from 4th of November to 9th of November 1948, and the second was started on 15th of November 1948 to 17th of October 1949, a very long duration. So there was a multiple meeting was held as well as discussion was taking place on each and every clauses of our Indian Constitution, students. Okay, now we have another question, 20th question of the second chapter and second topic. Which of the following is a wrong statement about the Constituent Assembly? Once again, you have to see a wrong statement about the Constituent Assembly. It worked with the help of a large number of committees. Among the most important was the drafting committee. Okay, this is one. Second statement says that adequate representation in assembly was also given to minority communities such as Christian, Anglo-Indian as well as Parsis. C says that it was elected on the basis of universal adult suffrage, or you can say universal adult franchises. And the D says that the election process was based on the 6th schedule of the Government of India Act 1935, and the voting right was limited on the basis of tax, property, educational qualification. So same type of question we already discussed. Okay, so see, this question is very easy and I want everyone must answer this. Okay, so if you see, students, I'm just going with each and every statement, then I will show you which one is wrong. So students, it worked with the help of large number of committees, and very important was drafting committee. If you see, students, there was 9 major committees and multiple minor committees. Okay, and drafting committee played a very important role because it is going to read the word important Constitution, and after that they are going to compile the Constitution of India. They will create a draft, they will make discussion in the Constituent Assembly, they will create debate over each and every clauses, and then they will make their modification in the draft, and then they are going to compile the final Constitution of India. So this was the process there, and this was done multiple time, and students, there's lots of committee as well as drafting committee played a very pivotal role. So statement 1 is correct. If you see, adequate representation in assembly was given to minorities community, yes, it was given. Okay, if you see, it was elected on the basis of universal adult suffrage, no, they are indirectly elected, okay, by the provincial legislative assembly. So this is important. So option C is going to be wrong, and what this question is asking, it is asking about the wrong answer. Okay, in the same format, the election process was Jai Jagannath. Okay, I hope it is okay. You are able to connect. So this is about the 20th question, and if you see the explanation, C is incorrect because the number of Constituent Assembly were elected through indirect election. The provincial assemblies at that time selected these representatives based on proportional representation. We already discussed. And the member were be chosen by an electoral college system formed by the member of provincial legislature or legislative assembly students. So we already discussed about the same. Now if you see, this is a statement matching based question. Okay, which of the following pair is wrongly matched? Means wrongly matched. 11th of December 1946, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru moved an objective resolution in the Constituent Assembly. See, everyone need to give answer for the same, because we already discussed about the same. 29th of August 1947, drafting committee was set up under the headship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. 26th November 1949, the people of India adopted, enacted and gave this constitution to themselves according to preamble. 24th of January 1950, the constitution was finally signed by the member of Constituent Assembly, and we are getting the 284 signatures. So if you see this options very carefully, you will find that this objective resolution was presented on 13th of December, not on 11th of December. So automatically what you find, students, this book means basically this statement 1 is going to be incorrect. Okay, or basically this pair is incorrect. Okay, so all three matches are correct and this is incorrect. So you have to remember, and we are going to see the explanation. The pair A is wrongly matched because Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru moved this objective resolution in Constituent Assembly on 13th of December 1946, which became an essential basically guiding framework for the Constitution of India. Okay, great, Shraddha, great. Getting it? Now we have matched means a question that is connected with the matched list 1 to list 2, and you have to use the correct code for the same. So list 1 and list 2. First Vice President of Constituent Assembly. Originally the Congress member of Drafting Committee, member of Constituent Assembly representing Rajasthan Princely State, and chairman of Union Constitution Committee. If you see the list 2, it is V.T. Krishnachari, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, K.M. Munshi and Harendra Kumar Mukherjee students. See very carefully. First Vice President of Constituent Assembly. Okay, so we already discussed who was the President. President was Dr. Rajendra Prasad Sir. If you see the Vice President, students, I told you many times it was Harendra Kumar Mukherjee. So if you see, if you go with the basically this statement only, so option A, basically code A, and it is connected with the H.C. Mukherjee. And if you see the option, let's suppose you are not aware with the others, automatically you will find option B is going to be correct. But as we already just told you, we are going to discuss each and everything. See, the member of Constituent Assembly representing the Rajasthan Princely State, V.T. Krishnachari. Okay, basically if you see only the Congress member who was the part of drafting committee, it was K.M. Munshi, Kanhaiyalal Madiklal Munshi sir, and basically chairman of Union Power Committee or Union Constitution Committee, it was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru sir. So automatically option B is going to be correct in a very systematic and easy format. And see, that's why I'm telling you, you need to watch this session very carefully. Okay, and if you feel any language problem anywhere, you guys are free to discuss with me. So the correct matching A4, B3, C1, D2, we already discussed. Harendra Kumar Mukherjee sir was the first Vice President of Constituent Assembly. Okay, he was the first Governor of Bengal before the partition of India. K.M. Munshi is the only Congress member who was the part of drafting committee. He was a freedom movement activist, politician, as well as founder of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. V.T. Krishnamachari, he was the member of Constituent Assembly representing the Rajasthan's Princely State, and he was the first deputy chairman of Planning Commission for India Students. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru sir was the chairman for this Union Constitution Committee of Constituent Assembly. Now if you see this 23rd question of this series, students, okay, who among the following was the advisor to the Constituent Assembly. Advisor means, let's suppose there is some confusion, there is any problem, so the person will reach to him and he will give his or basically his views, as well as on the basis, as he was he will be a very learned person, and he is going to be the not on the basis of as he was advisor, he was basically he is going to part of the International Court of Justice, not on the basis of he was advisor, but he was a very prominent judge. Okay, so what you find, students, it was Benigal Narayan Rao, B.N. Rao. He was a constitutional advisor for the Indian Constituent Assembly. We already discussed about the same, students. Okay, so if you see, Sir B.N. Rao was appointed as the constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly in 1946. He created general draft of the Constitution of India. He was responsible for the general structure of its democratic framework of the Constitution and prepared the initial draft in February 1940. So first draft was created by B.N. Rao sir. Okay, draft was debated, revised and finally adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26th of November 1949. So first draft was created by B.N. Rao sir. Now see the 24th question on your screen. Which of the following statement is, you have to see it, and after that you have to choose the right answer, and this question is belonging to UPPSC. The design of national flag was adopted by Constituent Assembly on 22nd of July 1947. The wheel of the national flag has 21 spokes. The ratio of the width of the national flag is 3:4. Which statement is correct? Student, our flag, if you see, it is a tricolor flag, and there is a wheel in the middle of the flag, and there is how many spokes? So there is 24 spokes. So this is going to be incorrect. Student, ratio is 2:3. So statement 3 is also going to be incorrect. And it is also very important to understand basically who created this constitution, this flag. It was created by an Andhra Pradesh person named as Pingali Venkaiah sir, and he was the basically a designer for our flag. And this flag was presented in the Constituent Assembly, and on 22nd of July it was accepted. So what you see, students, only option B is going to be correct, all are incorrect. So this question is okay. I hope you all able to understand. Getting it? Very simple. So I just added explanation also. So only statement 1 is correct. As present form of flag was adopted by Constituent Assembly on 22nd of July 1947. Very important date. As well as our constitution, our flag is rectangular in the shape. There is a 3 color, saffron, white and green. At the center, students, what you find, a white strip, there is a depiction of Ashok Chakra with navy blue color. And there is how many spokes? 24 spokes, and it was created by Pingali Venkaiah sir. Statement 2 and 3 is incorrect because we have our flag has 24 spokes in the wheel at the center, and it is basically representing the 24 hour of a day, and basically it is mentioning that the time, it is presenting the time. Okay, so movement of time symbol. Okay, the dimension of flag is basically 2:3, that is breadth should be 1.5 time of the length, students. I hope you all able to connect it. And it is basically made from the khadi, hand woven or silk, and manufacture protocol laid out. Basically the Bureau of Indian Standard was there. They're mentioning what type of flag you can use at your home, as your offices, as your any places. Okay, I hope you all getting it. So only statement 1 is correct. Now you know very well. Now if you see, students, 25th question we have, who talk about suspending adult suffrage for 15 years of Constituent Assembly. Very important. So there was a person who says that no, we must not allow everyone to participate in voting, because as we got independence recently, so maybe it is going to create problem. So who suggested that we must create the limited basically this adult franchise? So who was he? Basically Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru sir, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, or Dr. Bhim Rao Ramji Ambedkar. Who said this? Okay, this is important, students. So see, he was the first education minister of India. So he was basically Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, and he says that for 15 years we need to suspend this, we need to leave this. Okay, so what you find, the different scholars had different argument about the universal adult suffrage in the Constituent Assembly, in which Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, Maka Trophy, that is given in sports to universities, okay, had talked about the suspension of universal adult franchises. Okay, so in the inaugural Indian General Election 1952, Ambedkar contested from Bombay North but lost to his former associate Narayan Kajorlekar of the Congress party. Later, he surrendered a position in the Rajya Sabha, okay, likely a predetermined arrangement from the West Bengal, attempting to re-enter Lok Sabha in 1954 by election from the Bhandara. Okay, he finished third as Congress party emerged victorious. By the second general election 1957, Ambedkar had passed away. Okay, so Maulana Abul Kalam Azad believed that universal adult franchise would not be appropriate in the context of present day India because most population are illiterate, unfamiliar with it, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Dr. Rajendra Prasad has emphasized to adopt it. Means they are saying that we need to adopt the universal adult franchise. So it was adopted only. Himanshu Patel, we will do tomorrow 6 a.m. current affairs session on the same channel where we meet. So at 6 a.m. no, not at 8 a.m. Okay, getting it? So see, now we have the another question. Who said that the Constituent Assembly was Congress and Congress was India? See, as our constitution, there is a different thinkers and different philosophers, there is different research scholar, they commented over the Constitution of India. As I am saying, it is a very beautiful constitution. So it is said by many people, so that's why it is not in record. Okay, okay. So see, so in the same format, basically Constituent Assembly was there, and see, the majority was belonging from the Indian National Congress. So that's why this thinker says that in basically this constitution was created in the light of Indian National Congress members. So it was said by Austin, C.R. Attlee, Winston Churchill, or Lord Mountbatten. Who said that? No, C.R. was not there. So if you see students, basically basically there's a name, if you read some standard book as well as in this book also, there is a person who was a basically American journalist as well as constitutional expert. Name of this person is Greenwell Austin. Okay, and option A is basically Greenwell Austin, and he says that basically in the Constituent Assembly, basically majority is belonging from the Indian National Congress. So he said that Constituent Assembly was Congress and Congress was India. Okay, so if you see, while criticizing the Constituent Assembly, American journalist and constitutional expert Greenwell Austin said that Constituent Assembly is a Congress and Congress is India. So his statement described in his book named as the Indian Constitution, cornerstone of the nation. He termed Indian Constitution as the first and foremost social document. Getting it? Okay, great. Now you have to see the next question. Consider the following statement. Statement 1, the Constitution was signed by member of Constituent Assembly on 26th of January 1950. There was 395 Article 12 schedule in the original Constitution of India. Okay, if you see students, the signature was done on 24th of January 1950. Yes, so statement 1 is incorrect. If you see in our original constitution that was implemented on 26 January 1950, students, there was 395 article. 395 article. 8th schedule was there, not 12. Okay. So as well as 22 part was here. So if you go with it, then you'll find that statement 1 and 2 both is incorrect. So option D, statement 1 and 2 both are incorrect. Sometime once you read this and you'll find that key, okay, yes, it is correct. Okay, means it is in both is incorrect. And once you are going to choose the right answer, sometime you commit mistakes and you are going to opt option 1. So don't do this. Okay, it will be definitely bad for you. Okay, so option D is correct here. So draft constitution was passed on 26 November 1949. On the same day, people of India and Constituent Assembly enacted it, but signature was done on it later. And the original constitution was adopted on 26th of November. And students, when it was fully implemented, 395 articles, 8 schedule and 22 part was there. I hope you all able to connect it. Great, everyone. Getting it? Very simple. Now 28th question we have, which one of the following said a constitution like machine is a lifeless thing? It acquires life because of men who control it, and India need today nothing more than a set of honest men who will have the interest of the country before them. So he said that basically constitution is just like machine. If an honest man is going to use machine, he will he will use that machine in a proper and systematic format. Otherwise he is going to break the norms. Okay, so he said that if an honest person is going to run this country, he will believe in constitution, then definitely things is going to be good. So who gave this statement, students? So it is made by Dr. Rajendra Prasad Sir. So above statement in the given question was made by Dr. Rajendra Prasad Sir, and he was the first president of India and played a very crucial role in the framing of Indian constitution. His word emphasizes that basically a constitution, no matter how well crafted, basically it is relies on the integrity and commitment of those who implement and uphold it. The importance of having honest and dedicated individual in position of authority to ensure the effective functioning of the constitutional system of India. I hope you all able to connect it. Getting it? Now we have to see another question. Given below are two statements, in which one assertion and second is the reason. Okay, so on the basis of this you have to choose. Assertion says that the Constitution of India provide all necessities of the country. Reason says that it is known or called as a adopted constitution. Now our constitution is considered as the adopted constitution because the draft or the basically draft maker or basically Constituent Assembly, they read the word constitution, they included the important provision from the different part of the word. So yes, it was adopted, as well as it contain all the necessities, okay, like fundamental right, DPSP, fundamental duties. So what you find, both statements are correct, but they are not giving explanation of one another. Okay, so both statement A and assertion and reason are true, but R is not the correct explanation for the A or assertion. I hope you all connecting it. Now we are moving towards the explanation. Both A and R are true. R is not the correct explanation of A. The Constitution of India provide the framework for governing the country. The term adopted constitution does not accurately describe Indian constitution, students. Okay, Indian constitution is often referred as borrowed constitution because we just derive from the different countries' constitution, students, because it draw inspiration from the various sources including the constitution of other countries. Approximately 60 countries constitution they read, and it is unique and comprehensive document tailored to Indian specific need and circumstances, not merely adopted from elsewhere. So while both statement is truly true individually, but they are not directly related, or they are not correct explanation for each other. So I hope you all able to connect. Now we have the 30th question. In their nationalist reaction, the founding father of Indian Constitution tended to minimize the importance of minority interest and emotions. Okay, this view is credited to, it is Morris Jones, Hartgrave Jr., Alexandro Witz, or Ivor Zenning. So as I told you students, they are the thinkers, they are the person who are giving different criticism as well as good thing for the different data. So this person was Ivor Zenning, and students basically in the view of this person, their nationalist reaction, the founding father of Indian Constitution tended to minimize the importance of minority interest and emotion. This credited to Ivor Zenning, and he was a British constitutional scholar who wrote extensively on the Indian constitutional matter. He believed that the framer of Indian Constitution, in their basically eagerness to establish a strong and unified nation, okay, so may have downplayed the concern and sentiment of minority group and communities. His perspective underscored the complex balancing act that Constituent Assembly has had to perform in the reconciling the aspiration of diverse group while striving for a united and democratic India. It is important to note that this view is one among various interpretation of the Constitution and historical context and intent. So yes, this is written by the different person in different format. So this is all about the if you see, this is chapter 2, and in the chapter 2 we just completed topic 2 also. So yes, we'll discuss in the same format. We'll try to complete the things in a very systematic and easy format. And as I told you students, this book is going to be very, very important for you, because it's contain lots of information, like it is 100% error free, and it contain a very detailed explanation for each and every question. There's a knowledge plus series with the typical questions, PYQ bullets for revision, as well as free package chapter test. And this book is available for every subject like history, like geography and polity, economy, as well as general science. So stay tuned with the IAS with Arihant, and we are trying to deliver the best to best content of the book students for your each state PSC as well as for the UPSC IAS examination. So if you feel any doubt and difficulties, I am always open to you. Just write down in the comment box. Thank you so much for joining and listening, students. We'll meet soon. Take care. Have a great day, and share this book information to your friends as well as this session to your friends also. Thank you so much. Take care.